He who obeys does not listen to himself. What I understand by /philosopher / a terrible explosive in the presence of which everything is in danger. Strength is the morality of the man who stands out from the rest, and it is mine. Life is the will to power, our natural desire to dominate and reshape the world to fit our own preferences and assert our personal strength to the fullest degree. Do not allow yourselves to be deceived. Great minds are skeptical. Against boredom, even gods struggle in vain. The devotion of the greatest is to encounter risk and danger, and play dice for death. The spiritualization of sensuality is called love. It is a great triumph over Christianity. Poets are shameless with their experiences, they exploit them. The advocates of a criminal are seldom artists enough to turn the beautiful terribleness of the deed to the advantage of the doer. Enjoy life. This is not a dress rehearsal. The higher we soar, the smaller we appear to those who cannot fly. Sometimes people don't want to hear the truth because they don't want their illusions destroyed. Happiness being able to forget or to express in a more learned fashion. If you look long enough into the void begins to look back through you. There is always some madness in love, but there is also always some reason in madness. What is not intelligible to me is not necessarily unintelligent. There is an innocence in admiration. It occurs in one who has not yet realized that they might one day be admired. Beware of spitting against the wind. Generally speaking, the greater a woman's beauty, the greater her modesty. I consist of body and soul in the worlds of a child, and why shouldn't we speak like children? But the enlightened, the knowledgeable would say I am body through and through, nothing more, and the soul is just a word for something on the body. The final reward of the dead, to die no more. In some remote corner of the universe, poured out and glittering among innumerable solar systems, there once was a star on which clever animals invented knowledge. Should not the giver be thankful that the receiver received, is not giving a need, is not receiving mercy? The lie is a condition of life. Everyone who has ever built anywhere a / new heaven / first found the power that too in his own hell. Madness is not our consequence of uncertainty, but of certainty. Immature is the love of the youth, and immature his hatred of man and earth. His mind and the wings of his spirit are still tied down and heavy. The snake which cannot cast its skin has to die. As well the minds which are prevented from changing their opinions, they cease to be mind. When a woman has scholarly inclinations, there is usually something wrong with her sexuality. Without music, life would be a mistake. Beyond Good and Evil, Aphorism 153. Reality is captured in the categorical nets of language only at the expense of fatal distortion. It is very noble hypocrisy not to talk of one's self. Your God is dead, and only the ignorant weep. And if you claim there is a hell, then we shall meet there. In revenge and in love, woman is more barbarous than man. After coming into contact with a religious man, I always feel I must wash my hands. By losing your goal, you have lost your way. I am not a human being, I am dynamite. The world is a work of art that gives birth to itself. In individuals, insanity is rare, but in groups, parties, nations, and epochs, it is the rule. But thus do I counsel you, my friends, distrust all in whom the impulse to punish is powerful, distrust all those who talk much of their justice. One must be a sea to receive a polluted stream without becoming impure. Man is a rope stretched between the animal and the superman, a rope over an abyss. A dangerous crossing, a dangerous wayfaring, a dangerous looking back, a dangerous trembling and halting. A beautiful woman seductively dressed will never catch cold, no matter how low cut her gown. You say it is dark, and in truth, I did place a cloud before your sun. But do you not see how the edges of the cloud are already glowing and turning light? God is a gross answer, an indelicacy against us thinkers, at bottom merely a gross prohibition for us. You shall not think. This verse gets me through each day. What doesn't kill us makes us stronger. I am not afraid of anything because the Lord is my shepherd. O great star, what would your happiness be if you did not have us to shine for? Pity is extolled as the virtue of prostitutes. The demand to be loved is the greatest of all arrogant presumptions. If there were gods, how could I endure not to be a god? Therefore there are no gods. The Germans are like women. You can scarcely ever fathom their depths. They haven't any. The lonely one offers his hand too quickly to whomever he encounters. My formula for greatness in a human being is amor fati, that one wants nothing to be other than it is, not in the future, not in the past, not in all eternity. Does not the discipline of the scientific spirit just commence when one no longer harbors any conviction? If the all-powerful God controls Satan, he is an accomplice, and if he doesn't, he is not an all-powerful God. The more abstract the truth you wish to teach, the more you need to seduce the senses to it. Perhaps no philosopher is more correct than the cynic. The happiness of the animal, that thorough cynic, is the living proof of cynicism. Become who you are. Make what only you can make. In true love, it is the soul that envelops the body. Nobody is more inferior than those who insist on being equal. There are no beautiful surfaces without a terrible depth. It is hard enough to remember my opinions without also remembering my reasons for them. He who has always spared himself much will in the end become sickly of so much consideration. Praised be what hardens. Even the most beautiful scenery is no longer assured of our love after we have lived in it for 3 months, and some distant coast attracts our avarice of possessions are generally diminished by possession. There is more wisdom in your body than in your best wisdom, and who then knows why your body needs precisely your best wisdom?